And while Carl Edwards and company are left to try and figure out what went wrong, Jimmy Johnson's got a slightly overloaded Camaro there, it looks like.
Those Chevys are tough.
As the 48 team takes the ride around. Special moment that goes with winning this race, isn't it? That ride around the racetrack before the fans in the grandstand.
You know, I think that's really when it hits you the most. You know, victory lane is great and you're trying to get everything done, but when you drive around here, be able to ride around with your owner, with your crew chief, and obviously they've got some others there with them, that's whenever it kind of hits you just how special this is. The fans are standing up cheering, and it's really a special moment.
A couple subtle things to talk about that really played a role in determining the outcome of this race. One was the double up for the restarts. The outside lane just was not the place to be.
It really wasn't. We saw some guys really make some runs out there to try to challenge Jimmy Johnson, and they couldn't make any ground. They actually lost a lot of ground, almost everybody in that outside lane.
And guys who, like Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski, who appeared to maybe have something for Jimmy, all had problems just after restarts in turn 2.
Yeah, it seemed like that we talked about that a lot of accidents were over there. Well, we didn't have the accidents. We had guys getting out of shape and really giving up chances to put any pressure on Jimmy Johnson over there. So it's extremely slick there, but you have to go through there fast, try to hold it wide open and see if you can make a run at him.
And you get this restart momentum going through turn 1 and turn 2 is where everybody's trying to get that position, and just it gets so narrow. You get together over there and emotion's running high, and there's a lot at stake.
We started our telecast by showing a team working on bringing their best piece to Indianapolis. Ironically, coincidentally, that team was the 48 team. And Jimmy Johnson drove a fine piece to victory lane today and now is enjoying the celebration. Tony Stewart as low as 32nd at one point in the race. Dave, you got a 10th place out of it.
He did. Our in-race reporter drove it home, and after a win last night in a sprint car, I guess that's the best way for you to warm up for this. But 10th today, where was it lost for you, Tony?
When we unloaded yesterday, unfortunately, we just didn't start the weekend off good enough. And I will say that I'm really proud of Steve Addington and Greg Zeppedelli and all of our engineers and everybody that worked hard last night to make this car what it was today. It was a lot better, but this is where we should have unloaded it instead of trying to be here for the race. So we just got to be a little better off the truck.
At its worst point, what was it like to drive?
We just were a little bit tight in the center of the corner, and that's kind of what we fought all day. But yesterday we had problems with security in the right rear getting in the corner and being really loose off, and they got that fixed. We just got too tight in the center of the corner. So I was proud of the gains they made. It was a very inconsistent car yesterday, and it was a very consistent car today.
Top 10 at this historic place for Tony Stewart.
And a great drive after some early loss of track position there. Well, we saw all the guys piled on the convertible. Obviously not the entire team can fit on that car, but the Hendrick team all waiting along the yard of bricks for that convertible to come back around, and then they'll get the chance to bend down and kiss the bricks. Ryan Newman had a 7th place finish today, Doc.
With Ryan Newman. Ryan, we look up and here you are as the laps wind down, charging toward maybe a top 5 finish. So tell us about your day.
Just got a couple bad breaks on restarts where I had holes. The guys called me holes, and I just didn't have the confidence to put the car in there. And just a good comeback for the Quicken Loans Chevrolet. Got to thank everybody from Quicken Loans. It's a Midwest company, and tried to get a win for him here today. But you know, it's congratulations to Jimmy. But we battled back. We got some better track position, and we got loose there at the end. Finished 7th. So not a bad day. Not the greatest for points days, but we didn't lose anything really to speak of either. Lost a little bit to the 18, but gained on a couple other guys.
Ryan Newman brings it home in 7th spot.
Mark Martin made some noise at the end there. Restarted in the top 10 there, and they got shuffled out, Mark. What happened?
Outside restart, you know. I got away with it. I had one just before that, and I got in the hole and got away with it and didn't lose anything. And we had a top 10 car. Rodney Childers and all the guys on the Aaron's Dream Machine team did a great job. Awesome pit stops, and we improved the car as the race went. We moved up, and we had a solid top 5 car there. I was really proud of it, and proud of our Toyota engine was so strong. And we just, you know, we need to get a little bit better. We didn't have a top 5 car, but we did have a top 10, and it was a great team effort by our guys, and we'll keep working on it, try to get it a little faster.
Clint Boyer with us, and Clint, it looked like you guys with the incident early on were going to be done for the day, but you battled back.
Yeah, we did. You know, hats off to Brian Patty. First and foremost, for as bad as we were yesterday, to be able to go through the notes and come up with a good package early on in the race, you know, we took off and went up through them like gangbusters. I was like, we're going to be all right here. And, you know, just was racing, got on that outside. Them outsides and restart, boy, you're in no man's land. And you try to get to the bottom as quick and, you know, as efficiently as possible. The 31 got on the inside of the 42. I realized I was 3 wide on the outside. Tried to get out of there and just barely caught him in the left front. Cut my tire down, spun out. Anytime you spin out a track like this, you usually end up crashing in the infield. But just thankfully, everything worked out. We ended up with the top 15. Not what we wanted, but could have been a heck of a lot worse.
Thank you, Clint.
Thanks.
And at the Yard of Bricks, the convertible has come back. And a tradition, my colleague Dale Jarrett was involved in starting with his crew chief, Todd Parrott, after winning this race. That's been picked up and carried on, not just for the winner of the NASCAR race, but now for every race here at Indianapolis is about to unfold once again.
We didn't have that much organization to it whenever we were doing it.
But you know, if it's me, I want that photo.
Absolutely.
I want a big copy of that photo. Little Genevieve thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah, she's been schooled better than that before now. She's wondering what they're doing.
Dale, final thought on the day?
Yeah, just a dominating performance. We've seen this before by this 48 team, and they came here ready for this race. There wasn't a lot of practice time yesterday, but they were prepared, and I think that showed up somewhat today.
Yeah, I just think we're seeing greatness in this whole team. Jimmy Johnson, I think Jeff said it better. He said Jimmy doesn't get enough credit sometimes for as good as he is. He is one of the greatest race car drivers that's ever lived.
And he's won at Indianapolis for a 4th time, Nicole, after a brilliant drive today.
Truly, 99 laps led. And consider this, guys. Jimmy Johnson won his first Brickyard 400 in 2006.
Unbelievable. I mean, the performance that this guy's had at this particular racetrack, Nicole, 4 wins now, the dominating runs, the incredible performance from Chad Knaus preparing this car for this particular race, and that man on the right there, Rick Hendrick, giving him the tools and the effort, just really something.
I mean, just no one was in the area code like Kyle Busch said, or even in the same continent with Jimmy Johnson today. Dominating performance. Boy, could he be on his way to his 6th championship.
Something to keep in mind, 8 Brickyard winners have gone on to win the championship.
Man.
Jimmy Johnson could be another contender for this one.
Well, I think if you look at the record, I might be mistaken, but the last 3 times he won here, he did go on to win the championship.
NASCAR Nationwide Series is at Iowa next Saturday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. We will be back with you next Sunday. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Pocono next Sunday. Coverage starts at noon Eastern on ESPN. Coming up next, it's Sports Center. Congratulations once again to the 4-time winner at the Brickyard, Jimmy Johnson. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.